Cancers. Hi, Adrian Nelson here, your psychic tarot reader, and this is a general reading for you for 22 till 31 May. Now, before we get into the reading, I just want to apologize to all of you that are so beautifully supporting my channel. I streamed those videos last week. I streamed them live, and I didn't actually realize how absolutely horrible they looked until I actually looked afterwards. I was a little sick last week as well, so I do apologize for the really horrible quality of those videos. Really sorry about that. I felt super bad, but I didn't want to remove the messages either. So but we are back, we are flowing, you know. This is a general reading for the sign of Cancer, for those on the cusp of Cancer, for those of you dealing with a Cancer. Maybe you've got Cancer in your moon, maybe you've got Cancer in your rising. Wherever you've got Cancer in your chart, this is the reading for you. When you come across something that resonates for you, claim it for yourself without a doubt. Place your hand on your heart, take a nice deep breath and say, I claim that for myself. Because the universe is always listening. And when you say yes to something, then that something says yes to you. Alright? Because remember, what you think about is also what you bring about. Right, so Cancers. Let's see what are the past influences that has brought you towards where you currently are. So we got the Temperance energy, the Death card energy, and the Tower energy. Whew. Wow. Wow. Yo. Okay, that's quite a lot to deal with all at once. Some of you have gone through absolute hell. And I can, you know, it's interesting because I can see that you've gone through hell, but on the outside, everybody assumed that you were actually doing perfectly fine. People were, if anybody had to be asked, hey, how's it Cancer? They're like, no, they're fine, not to worry. Hunky-dory, evidently they're good. So I feel that for some of you, you may have gone through really difficult sort of like trials and tribulations, you know, very tumultuous sort of things. But on the outside, it appeared that everything was fine. You were learning really big lessons over there. And I feel one of the biggest lessons for many of you was the realization that you were in the space of learning. Because I feel that for many of you beautiful Cancers, I feel that you were very hard on yourself, feeling that you must have it together. It was almost sort of like a end of the journey mentality, but you were in the beginning of the journey or in the middle of the journey. There was a lot of release that has taken place. There's a lot of, I feel there's a lot of toxicity that has been removed from your energy, you know. So some of you may have had maybe some problems with some health. Some of you may not have been realizing how much pain that you were carrying with you from your childhood, things that you thought that you were resolved or have resolved, relationship that you thought you were over. So for you, this was like one huge Mercury retrograde that just went on like for, you know, a long period of time, with Mercury retrograde obviously being the period where the universe highlights for us, you know, the things that you need to work on, the things that are not working out. But I feel that for many of you, whilst the world might currently be in that space, a lot of you have sort of, in a sense, it's almost like you preempted, like you could feel it in energy, so you've gone through a lot. There's been a lot of releases that have taken place for you. This could have been a lot of losses. Some of you may have lost people, you know, to death, to passing, and if you did, I'm very sorry for that. Sending you lots and lots of love. For many of you, it's almost like, especially with life and with love, and like, you know, it's almost like you realize this is the actual dream. Because I feel that some of you were holding sort of on to kind of like, you know, glass castles basically. Even with love, I feel a lot of you were sort of still semi-holding on to certain people. And I can see that you've done a beautiful and a very positive, and that's what I love, energetic release over there, okay? In your current space, ready for something new. All right, ready for something new, and something new that is very powerful. All right, and very blessed and very positive. You have got the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Your heart is ready for new things. You are ready for love. You are ready to do your own thing. There's a sense of positivity. There's a sense of maybe some realizations that have come through for many of you, where maybe you wanted this, you wanted that, and it wasn't happening. I feel especially on a more personal level, so a lot more sort of like with your career and your life choices and where you're going and your sense of security and the rest of your life and sort of like setting that sort of tone. I feel for many of you, you're really at that space, even if you're doing your own thing, even if you're like me, like you're an entrepreneur, I feel that it's almost like up until this point, everything was just preparation. For a lot of you, you may have been playing it sort of small, you may have been playing it carefully, with this recent past energy, there may have been, I'm not going to encourage you to burn any bridges, but there may have been some bridges that you needed to you sort of just had to press the detonator switch, that bridge had to go. But some of you were like sort of almost like motivating for what needed to go, okay? I feel there's a newfound strength, there's a newfound energy that is coming about for you. Now, typically, with this sort of two cards together, I will say for you, Cancer, you might want to be just a little bit mindful that you don't go and get ahead of yourself. But I feel that you are going to that next level. This is the 3D to 5D sort of level. That new world, that new ways of doing, that higher ways of doing things. So I feel that while on the outside for many of you, it might seem like you sort of, biting off too big a chunk, that you might be sort of burning yourself out. It's almost like you've got this extra energy that you've got, and so you're heading in a very positive direction. That is what I feel for you. Let's just see what's happening for you going forward, beautiful, beautiful Cancers. So 10 of Swords, more releases. 10 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, and the Star, beautiful Aquarius energy going forward there for you. So So this is what I'm getting for you, Cancer, is that there's a lot of, almost like the cobwebs in your mind that needed to be released, those things of the past, those ideas, those deeper subconscious beliefs about yourself and about your worth and about your value. Sorry, I was a little sick, I still got a cough. What you're still deserving of. A lot of you sort of you kind of did the inner spring cleaning well, and that sort of set you on a very positive flow. But now when it comes to life, when it comes to love, when it comes to people, there are those releases, all right? This is the difficult thing about expansion sometimes, that everybody's just not ready to go with you. But what is beautiful, and I want you to remember this going forward, you have got what it takes. You are now at a level where you've got what it takes to be able to separate parts from other people without it being this horrible sort of thing that hurts other people. You have got what it takes to peacefully go in a different direction, and there's a beautiful realignment taking place going forward as well. Especially those of you looking for love, I feel you being in the space of getting ready for it, and going forward, it's actually merging into your life. All right, let's clarify. So we're clarifying the recent past, we're clarifying the Temperance energy, the Death card energy, and the Tower energy. So with all of those big sort of major arcanas there in your recent past, also the biggest things are behind you, some of you may be feeling very tired because there was so much that you needed to deal with, but the biggest things are behind you, okay? Even confirmed for you again here in your clarifications, you've got the High Priestess, the Tower, and the King of Swords, okay? So for many of you, this was a sort of space where it's almost like there was that sort of ascension that was taking place, going to a higher level, gaining a higher understanding of yourself, of your abilities, of your possibilities. There is a sense of having to almost like surrender and release. I feel for many of you, it's almost like you had your fingers in many pies, and you there's a little bit of a control freak sort of energy that was happening over here. And for some of you, you needed to release your plan so that a better plan could come through, a bigger way of thinking could come through. I feel that some of you didn't realize just how big the sort of magnitude of the potential of where you were heading. You didn't quite get that. So even though you may have been heading for a lot, in a sense, many of you were still holding yourself back because what you thought was the highest that was available for you actually wasn't. There was more that was available. Okay. Let's look at your current space. So we're clarifying the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So for that, we've got the Four of Cups, the Star, and the Five of Swords. Now I just want to show you something. So if you look in your recent past and your clarifications, you will see that first of all, you had the Tower twice there in your recent past. So sorry, the Tower is really energy of getting out of what isn't working, getting out of the space of confusion, into what you thought. It feels like a calamity, you know, but it's like a release from a sense of like false security, basically, which really doesn't take a person very far in life. Now, with your current clarifications, I just want to show you. So we're still looking at your current space, but I just want to show you that we've got the Star twice there. So you're in a space where things are beginning to line up for you, really powerful, and many of you are getting this. You are feeling it in energy. Things are lining up for you in a powerful way. Four of Cups, the Star, and the Five of Swords. All right. There's new offers coming in. Some of you are not feeling quite ready for the new year. Some of you might still be holding on to old patterns. Be very mindful of holding on to past expectations, past beliefs, and also something that comes up very, very strongly, Cancer. Be very careful of people pleasing, because I feel that for some of you, that is still there. You know, you feel you can't go forward until you're not in like your brightest shine. You know, obviously everybody want to show up in the best of their capacity, but when you almost like refuse to go forward until everything is not 100% the way you want it to be, it can sometimes be a way of holding ourselves back. Because if you come from that operational way in the mind, you're always going to find the reason to stagnate, the reason not to go forward. Okay. It's like one of those things, if this doesn't work out, then maybe you need to open yourself up to something different. All right. Because there's a lot that's available for you at the moment, but I can see that there is still negative thinking, small mind thinking, and even some past life things, you know, fear kicking in. I can see for some of you that is happening, but going forward, clarifying the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Star. For that, we have got you coming into your own energy. How beautiful is this, and very stable itself. Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Ten of Swords. And again, there's deja vu because there's the Ten of Swords twice in the energy that's heading your way. The Chariot was actually first with the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. So this is you coming into your own energy, into your Cancer energy. Moving forward, some of you have seen how dark life can be, how negative it can be, how sad it can be, how overwhelming it can be. So you already know the crappiest and the suckiest part of what's available for you. And when you know that, the opposite is also possible. I see beautiful stability here in home life, career, money. There's a flow. So you're not necessarily becoming rich overnight, but I do see that your needs are being beautifully taken care of, as well as those extras, especially with the Ten of Swords for many of you. This is a space where you are leaving behind beliefs about yourself, about your own worth, about your own value. Some of you are leaving people behind. You're leaving past behind. You're leaving that old version of yourself behind because you're sort of like an updated version now. All right. So in a space like this, things can actually work out for you really, really good. But remember, you also need to allow it in energy. All right. Let's see what the universe has got for you, my beautiful, beautiful Cancerians. And also, you know, if it resonates with you, I'd really appreciate you leaving a comment. Let me know, you know, liking the video. It helps my channel to grow. Subscribing to the channel, I really appreciate that. If it resonates with you, I'd really appreciate you doing all these beautiful things to support my channel. What has the universe got for you? So you have got the King of Cups, so this is love, the Magician, and the Four of Cups. Yeah. All things going forward very positively. Very, very positive things coming here for you. Especially love. For those of you that are feeling maybe that sense of like loneliness that is setting in, I see something beautiful being created here for you in energy, but you're not seeing this coming, which is beautiful, which is what makes it very, very beautiful. There's something beautiful coming here for you, especially in love. It's a blessing and you're not seeing it coming. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Cancers. I hope that that helps. For those of you that want to have a personal reading, the details are down below in the description. I just want to let you know, I'm only going to do personal readings for about a month still, and my schedule is very full at the moment. So if you want to have a personal reading with me, you really need to skedaddle, get ahead and get a book for yourself. For those of you that want to learn how to read the tarot, there's a link for my step-by-step tarot reading course in the description. There is also a link for my free oracle card reading course. I'll see you next time.